Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Village Board meeting of May 13th. Please join us in our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, Mrs. Thomas.
Trustee Willis. Here. Trustee Harris Jones.
Here.
Trustee Heiferman.
Here.
Trustee Mason.
Here.
Trustee Roman.
Here.
Trustee Open.
Here.
President Hopel.
Here, representing staff this evening, to my left, our village manager, Napoleon Haney. To my right, our village attorney, Chris Cummings. To the audience's right, our police chief, Denise McGrath. Fire chief, Bob Grabowski. Finance director, Amy Zakowski. Economic and community development director, Angela Maceras. Public Works Director Josh Berman, and Assistant Village Manager Terrence Aqua. The minutes of April 22nd. Any additions or corrections, Trustee Willis?
Yeah.
Trustee Harris Jones?
None for me.
Trustee Heifer?
None.
Trustee Mason?
None for me.
Trustee Roman? Trustee Open? May I have a motion to approve the minutes, please?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Trustee Open, seconded by Trustee Mason. Roll call, please.
Trustee Willis.
I abstain.
Trustee Harris Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Heiferman.
Aye.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Roman.
Aye.
Trustee Open.
Aye.
The minutes are approved. The claims list in the amount of $1,495,730.86. Comments or questions? Trustee Willis.
Yeah.
Trustee Harris.
Nothing
Jones?
for me.
Trustee Heiferman.
All were answered?
Trustee Mason.
No, sir.
Trustee Roman.
No questions.
Trustee Open.
None.
May I have a motion to approve the claims list, please? So moved.
Second.
Been moved by Trustee Mason, seconded by Trustee Willis. Roll call, please.
Trustee Willis.
Aye.
Trustee Harris Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Heiferman.
Aye.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Roman.
Aye.
Trustee Open.
Aye.
The claims list is approved. Of that almost $1.5 million claims list, 4 items comprise the majority of that list. Our payment to Chicago Heights for water was $304,000. Our first quarter e-com payment was, that's our police and fire dispatch, was $142,000. 1 month's employees' health insurance, $255,000. And Thorn Creek Sanitary District was $83,000. That amounted to $784,000, 52% of that claims list. Hear from the audience. If anyone in the audience would like to address the board on any subject not on the agenda, please come forward. Yes, ma'am.
Amy Crump, Homewood. I am going to continue reading excerpts from the book On Tyranny by Timothy Snyder. Today's chapter is Remembering Professional Ethics. When political leaders set a negative example, professional commitments to just practice become more important. Before the Second World War, a man named Hans Frank was Hitler's personal lawyer. After Germany invaded Poland in 1939, Frank became the Governor General of occupied Poland, a German colony where millions of Jews and other Polish citizens were murdered. He once boasted that there was not enough trees to make the paper for posters that would be needed to announce all the executions. Frank claimed that law was meant to serve the race, and so what seemed good for the race was therefore the law. With arguments like this, German lawyers could convince themselves that laws and rules were there to serve their projects of conquest and destruction rather than to hinder them. The man Hitler chose to oversee the annexation of Austria was a lawyer who later ran the occupation of the Netherlands. Lawyers were vastly overrepresented among the commanders of the Einsatzgruppen, the special task force that carried out the mass murders of Jews, Gypsies, Polish elites, communists, the handicapped, and others. German and other physicians took part in ghastly medical experiments in the camps. If lawyers had followed the norm of no execution without trial, if doctors had accepted the rule of no surgery without consent, if bureaucrats had refused to handle paperwork involving murder, then the Nazi regime would have been much more harder pressed to carry out the atrocities by which we remember it. Professions create forms of ethical conversation that are impossible between a lonely individual and a distant government. If members of professions think of themselves as groups with common interests, with norms and rules that oblige them at all times, then they can gain confidence and indeed a certain kind of power. Professional ethics must guide us precisely when we are told that the situation is exceptional. There is no such thing as just following orders. If members of the professions confuse their specific ethics with the emotions of the moment, however, they can find themselves saying and doing things that they might have previously thought unimaginable. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Members of the board, thanks for letting me speak. I wanted to come by again to just commend Homewood on its diversity, and not just among people, but among food. So I happen to be a vegan. I went vegan several years ago, and I was living in Mokina at the time. And in the south suburbs, you can go around, you can get any groceries you want and prep your meals. But if you want to go out to eat, you kind of have to prep. You got to call. You have limited options, especially at night. So then I was informed about two places that are terrific. Go check them out. Civility Gardens and Redbird, both right down in Homewood. I had no idea, and I was like, how did I miss these places? So I went there frequently. I got to know Terry quite well. And even when Terry had moved, I got a couple of her tea mugs. She had an amazing tea selection. I grew up on tea. I was like, I cannot believe I've discovered this little mecca right here. Same thing with Redbird. When I went there frequently, I got to know the owner. The knockouts would go there after every practice. When they were moving out, she also gifted us a couple of the items, and I've just been following to keep in touch in case she comes up again, because I will show up at her storage spot and help her move into wherever she goes. And when I'm in Homewood, I've got Asian Outpost, I've got Empanados, I've got Maple Tree Inn, I've got Vida Tacos, I've got Burrito Express. And late night, it's still kind of hard, but guess what? Rabbit Brewing has an incredible beans and rice dish that will fill anybody up. And I have an option for myself to eat at night. So I once again want to really speak on behalf of what a wonderful place Rabbit has been. And another point to Rabbit is at the first Feast of the Goat Queen, which I didn't even know what it was. I just went there to check this thing out. The Chicago Knockouts had a table, and adjacent to us, there was an individual selling some cool stuff. We got talking. Turns out she played roller derby many years ago. We ended up trading numbers. Her husband is now one of our announcers. We've gotten to be close friends, and through her, we met somebody else who joined our league, who is now our head referee. And those folks I've become such good friends with that I became their dog sitter when they go out of town for the last few years. Why am I telling you this? Because I lost my job during the pandemic. I shifted careers. I did a bunch of odd jobs to make ends meet. And anything I could get here and there was just going to help me scrape by. I wasn't saving anything. I was just getting by. I was able to put food on the table. And one of those things was being able to dog sit for folks that I met at Rabbit Brewing. So I really want to thank you for the support that you're giving them, or you have given them in the past. I hope you will continue to give them support in their endeavors in the future. But I want to let you know what a mecca it is for a meeting place that affects people all over the place. Said people live way up in Skokie, by the way. So we have people from everywhere that I've met at that place, and it affects people's lives. It has ripples through people's lives. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the board this evening? Anyone else this evening? Mr. Landry.
Good evening, Mayor and trustees. For the record, D as in David, Oylelandry, son of Shakitor. So 2 envelopes and this postcard from 7 days ago at home with Flossmoor. So as you know by now, I don't do science, but I was just don't. I'm communications, right? So it was a pleasure being at the ribbon cutting 7 days ago at home with Flossmoor and seeing my fellow Marine and other leaders there with regard to the next generation. That actually doesn't start here. It actually starts at the Science Center. See, if parents decide where the seed is planted and eventually public school, you'll get what you want in terms of cures for breast cancer, for acquired immune deficiency syndrome, in terms of call it what it is, and you'll have what you want. So I was remiss the last board meeting when I took my clear shot at the horse next to the village manager, excuse me, next to the village attorney to the right of him. He knows he's a horse. And we'll go from there, school rivalry. I didn't do as my mother taught formally with regard to Mrs. Vivian Harris Jones. When I say this is yours in terms of formal thank you, because again, I got past Mother's Day. First Mother's Day without my mother. And it was her humor during the forum with regard to, you're always at the village meetings. And that again is due to Mother. The other envelope, which he doesn't think he told me, but he told me May, and it took some digging as a Marine Corps veteran in terms of birth date. So in addition to being sworn in tonight, your mayor's birthday is tomorrow. So that and like Mr. Crump, the publisher of the HF, I am first and foremost a communicator, a journalist, because of a mother who pushed this child to reading. All the best and enjoy your birthday.
Thank you, Mr. Landry. Is there anyone else who would like to address the board this evening? Yes, ma'am.
So I was actually here a couple of weeks ago when there was a lot of folks that were speaking on behalf of Rabbit, and I just wanted to throw mine in there as well. There were a couple of kids who also spoke, and I was kind of right behind them, but I didn't quite slide in before the cutoff, so I figured I would throw my piece in here as well. So thank you all so much for letting me speak. I really appreciate it. So I actually am the owner and operator of Chicago Knockouts Roller Derby, which skates right next door. And since basically the beginning, so we moved into that space in early 2022. And essentially Rabbit is, I would say, such a huge part of the reason we feel or felt immediately and continue to feel so at home here in Homewood. A lot of other folks talked about third spaces being so important, and we definitely resonate with that. I mean, one of the things that I think about is there's a lot of people in roller derby who will go to the roller rink to practice, because that's often the space where people hold practices and bouts, but then they leave the area, you know, afterwards they go back home because we're all coming from different places. I'm just referencing my places here because we have over 100 adult members in Chicago Knockouts Roller Derby. We've grown so much since we've gotten here, and over 70 youth members as well, which is really cool. And obviously that expands out into friends and family of those folks. And we come from as far south as Wilmington, as far north as Evanston, as far east as Aurora, and as far west. Nope. Did I get those wrong? Yep, I sure did. As far west as Aurora and as far east as Lafayette. So we're coming from all over, and we don't just come here to skate and then leave. We come here to skate and then we stay because Rabbit. We have a place. We have a place to hang out. We have a place to gather and to make connections, much like the ones that Abbas mentioned earlier. So it's been really, really special, and it has been a huge reason, I think, why we've continued to stay and grow here. So I just wanted to throw that out there as an additional community that has really grown and continue to spend money here, spend time here as a result of Rabbit. And we're so thankful to them, and we're so thankful to you for your support for them. And we hope that continues. So thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the board this evening? Yes, sir.
Board, everybody, my name is Tobias Sishan. I am a co-owner and co-founder of Rabbit Brewing. And I gotta say, when Well, first, I just want to say, I know that there's going to be a lot of talk in the coming months about what's happening with the Homewood Auditorium. And I would like everyone to keep in mind the incredible community that Chicago Knockouts has developed over there and the programs for the kids that are going on over there. And I hope that all of the adjustments and the redevelopment of the auditorium is still conducive to what they've been doing, because it's really important to this community and people everywhere in the area. So I would like to thank the trustees in the Village of Homewood. Thank you for your time, the efforts you've thus far put forth into helping Rabbit Brewing, and the opportunity to speak today. At the last meeting, Ray, my wife, and I expected to walk in with about half a dozen folks, maybe a dozen on the high end, and to offer the Board of Trustees a perspective on the community development role Rabbit has played. We walked in with about 5 dozen. We were floored. We had no idea. In addition, last week, we were told that about at least 60 emails in support of Rabbit being awarded the Park West property contract had come in, and they were still counting daily. As someone who has worked with local governments in automating their legislative process for almost 2 decades, this response for a town the size of Homewood is nothing short of astounding. Then the testimonies began. They were heartfelt, honest, and incredibly poignant. It is all of this support from all of these people that I wish to address. You are artists. You are the nightingales of hope. You are the war drums of this community's heart. You are all wonderful and giving people, the type of altar humans we should all aspire to be, and I am proud to know each one of you. You are true Rabidians, and as such, you will forever have my love and respect. Rabbit thanks you, and I thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the board this evening? Okay. Before we adjourn for the swearing in, I would like to thank our clerk, Marilyn Thomas, for 10 years of service, outstanding service, and also Lisa Oped for her service on the board too. Marilyn?
Raise my right hand.
Have been appointed and then elected and reelected and reelected, the village clerk, the Village of Homewood. Do solemnly swear that my actions as an elected official were to support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and the municipal ordinances of the Village of Homewood, and that I have faithfully discharged my duties as clerk by keeping accurate minutes for village board meetings, public hearings, budget hearings, truth and taxation hearings, executive sessions, and that I presented omnibus reports to offer transparency to residents, all in best of my ability. It has been a privilege to serve as clerk. Congratulations to those of you who have won election, and I'm sure you will be in capable hands with your new clerk, Nakia Flores. Thank you.
Elise?
I'll just drop the mic. Say, I just have a few things to say. First of all, congratulations to our new clerk, to Patrick, who's going to be sworn in as our new trustee. A few things. I am grateful. I'm going to read this. Sorry, to lose my train of thought. I'm grateful to the staff for the extraordinary job they do in managing and being phenomenal stewards of the village's financial responsibilities. I thank you to Napoleon, Terrence, Angela, Amy, Josh, Chief McGrath, Chief Grabowski, and your teams. I know I see you there. It has been an honor and a privilege to have worked with all of you for such a long time. Thank you so much. I feel truly, truly blessed to have had that opportunity, and I wish everyone very well. I encourage now to the residents to stay engaged now that the election is over with. This is where you still need to lean in, stay engaged, and there are wonderful opportunities as ways that you can stay engaged. Not only through the fun events and the activities that Marley Youngblood always brings out, or Christine Banks, our new farmers market manager. She's gonna do a fantastic job, but there are also ways of engaging with opportunities that Antonia Steinmiller has created, or she has taken it to the next level of means of communication. We have the Village Key, the Village of Homewood e-news, our new Homewood app, follow us on social media, the Civics Academy, not to mention, Chief McGrath, you've got social media and your e-news then as well to go out. So, these are all great ways of staying connected and being engaged. We also have something new, possibly Hot Topics, that's going to be coming. This is a great alternative until we have a committee of the whole meeting. Because sometimes speaking for 2 to 3 minutes just is not enough time to be able to share information. So look for that coming soon. I'm truly grateful to staff, Napoleon, the trustees, and to Mayor Holfeld. Keep in mind, they're all here to listen and learn and to help all of your residents. So please take advantage of that. It has been a wonderful pleasure to work with the trustees here and to Mayor Holfeld. Thank you for the opportunity and thank you for giving me that opportunity to serve. I wish everyone very well. Thank you.
And we will now adjourn. I would like to recognize the mayor of Flossmoor in the back in her sunlights and.
To ask for a motion, pronouncing it all day. Wait, hold on, somebody has to move to adjourn.
Seen it that? A motion for Cindy that. Okay, and a second.
Second.
Been moved by trustee Roman, second by trustee Mason. Roll call, please.
Trustee Willard. Aye. Trustee Harris Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Hyperman.
Aye.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Roman. Aye. Trustee Yoder.
My last time, aye.
And we're very fortunate to have a former trustee and now circuit court judge, Barbara Dawkins, for the swearing in.
Hold on, Mike, don't.
Yeah, you're no longer.
It's not hot, and I get to.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
I love it.
That's very cute.
I turned it around. That's cute. Okay, turn it a little bit like that.
That's good.
Order search for everyone.
Say that.
17. Oh, well. No.
I think.
No. He's driving.
No. So.
Yeah.
See how we get along. Right. Oh, 20 hours later. I, Richard Holcomb,
Having been elected to the office of
having been elected to the office of
President of the Village,
President of the Village of Homewood,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of
the
Illinois,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the municipal ordinances of the Village of Homewood,
and the municipal ordinances of the Village of Homewood,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of the President of the Village of Homewood,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of President of the Village of Homewood,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Having been elected to the office of village clerk for the village of Homewood. We solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the State of Illinois. And the municipal ordinances of the village of Homewood. And I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of village clerk. According to the best of my ability. So you have to insert your names. So you're gonna be talking. Please read that, right? I.
Rose Mason.
Vivian Harris Jones. To the office of village trustee.
Having been appointed to the office of village trustee.
For the village of Homewood.
For the village of Homewood.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the State of Illinois.
The Constitution of the State of Illinois.
And the municipal ordinances.
And the municipal ordinances
of the village of Homewood.
of the village of Homewood.
And I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office.
And I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office
Of village trustee.
of village trustee
To the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am. That was me all around. I know, right? I was looking there purpose. Like, do something over here.
Thank you, sir. So this.
There's some that looked it all over.
Marilyn?
It was like, I'm done. It was like.
But you're not too nervous? What is that?
Just the agenda. We bring this one.
Ms. Flores, roll call.
Village trustee Harris Jones,
Here.
trustee Willis,
Here.
trustee Hackerman,
Here.
trustee Season,
Here.
trustee Mason,
Here.
trustee Roman.
Here.
At this time, I would like to issue a proclamation declaring May 18th to May 24th as Public Works Week. Ms. Flores?
Proclamation, whereas public works, infrastructure, facilities and services are of vital importance to sustainable communities and to the health, safety and well-being of the people of Homewood. And whereas such facilities and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public work professionals, engineers, managers, and employees who are responsible for and must plan, design, build, operate, and maintain the transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential to serve our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for citizens, civic leaders, and children in Homewood to gain knowledge of and to maintain a progressive interest in understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in the community. And thus, whereas year marks the 65th annual National Public Works Week sponsored by the American Public Works Association. And therefore, Rich Hopefield, village president, hereby proclaims the week of May 18th through May 24th as Public Works Week in the village and urges citizens to join the representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to the village's public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they have made to our health, safety, welfare, and quality of life.
Thank you. Mr. Berman, Public Works Week, you have an open house coming up on Saturday.
Saturday from 10 to 1, we'll be out celebrating, so please come join us this
Can you
Saturday.
tell us a little bit about what it's going to entail?
Much representatives from the community, ComEd, NICO will be there, Julie, we're gonna have all of our new equipment out for the public to see. I will be there for any questions, staff will be there for any questions, it's gonna be a really fun time. Oh, and I can't forget DJ Napoleon Haney will be there, spinning the tunes, it's gonna be very fun.
And from what time to what time at Public Works?
10 o'clock to 1 p.m. And we're gonna have a food truck there, ready to go, it's gonna be really fun.
No hot dogs this year?
No hot dogs this year. I believe Mancho's Tacos, food truck.
Okay, Langston, that's a date. Okay, thank you. Ms. Flores, the consent agenda, please.
Consider a motion to pass, approve, authorize, and accept or award the following items. Agreement to grass cutting with CT Landscaping to waive competitive bidding due for utilizing a vendor that is currently under contract in the village. And authorize the village manager to enter into agreement with CT Landscaping of Glenwood for grass cutting, loose vegetation, trimming, and debris removal services for non-code compliant multifamily commercial and industrial properties within Homewood during calendar year 2025. For an amount not to exceed $70,000, this amount will be allocated and shared between two contract landscape companies, Uttermark and Sons of Homewood and CT Landscaping of Illinois. The board is asked to authorize the village manager to enter into an agreement renewal with Uttermark and Sons of Homewood for grass cutting, nuisance, vegetation, trimming, and debris removal for privately owned non-compliant properties during the 2025 year for an amount not to exceed $70,000. This amount will be allocated and shared between two contracted landscaping companies, Uttermark and Sons of Homewood, CT Landscaping of Glenwood. This agreement may be renewed by the village for a period of 2 successive years under the same terms and conditions as in the original agreement. The board is asked to award the fiscal year 2025-26 pavement marking bid to America's Parking Remarking of Glenwood, the lowest responsible bidder for the unit prices of 4-inch, 6-inch, 12-inch, 24-inch pavement markings and lettering for a total not to exceed $94,892.07. The board is asked to approve a change order to the agreement for engineering services with Burns and McDonald of Chicago, previously approved on May 28th, 2024, in the amount of $23,500 to complete the village's comprehensive water rate study. The board is asked for a budget amendment, police department radios from Motorola Solutions Company to approve a budget amendment of $45,400 to the general fund for the final payment to Motorola Solution Companies for the police department radios. The board is asked for a waive competitive bidding due to utilization of a single source supplier that meets specifications and approves a 4-year lease agreement with Stryker Inc. of Portage, Michigan in an annual amount of $29,140.43 per year for a total amount of $116,561.72. The board is asked to pass resolution supporting and consenting to a Class 8 Cook County real estate tax classification for the property located at 17627 Halster Street, owned by Jeffrey Vieira. The board is asked to pass a resolution supporting and consenting to a Class 8 Cook County Class real estate tax classification for La Banque Hotel property located at 2034 Ridge Road, owned by Gendrew Homewood Holdings LLC. The board is asked to pass a resolution adopting the 2024 update for the Cook County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan. The board is asked for the budget amendment contract at Prairie Lake Stormwater Detention Facility with Graham to approve a budget amendment in the amount not to exceed $100,000 and authorize the village president to enter into a contract with Graham of Aurora to provide consultant services for work associated with the Prairie Lake Stormwater Detention Facility. Subject to final approval of the general conditions by the village attorney, The amount has now been negotiated from $100,000 to $80,000. Isaac Walton is also paying $7,500, bringing the village's total cost to $72,500. The board is asked to pass or approve intergovernmental agreement with Regional Transportation Authority to authorize the village president to enter into intergovernmental agreement with the Regional Transportation Authority regarding the installation and maintenance of interagency Metro and Pace wayfinding signage, removing the proposed signage along Ridge Road.
Thank you very much, Ms. Flores. Your first one. It's a long one. Thank you. Mr. Aqua, with regard to the budget amendment for the Prairie Lake Stormwater Detention Facility, please, a little explanation.
Yep. Good evening, members of the board, general public. The Village of Homewood, in partnership with Isaac Walton Preserve, issued a request for qualifications on March 7, 2025 to retain a consulting firm to conduct a comprehensive water quality and sediment testing and monitoring study of the entire Prairie Lakes basin. The goal of this project is to support the long-term environmental health of the basin. Two firms responded to the request for qualifications, Fairgram of Aurora, Illinois, and ILM Environments of Waukegan, Illinois. Village staff, along with Isaac Walton Preserve representatives, John Brinkman and Kevin Jennings, met with both firms to evaluate the proposals and qualifications. Following these evaluations, Fairgram was selected as the preferred consultant. Their selection was based on their clear understanding of the scope of work, depth of expertise across relevant disciplines, and closer proximity to Homewood. Tonight, we got Matt Drabick here in the audience to provide a quick overview of his services and backgrounds of Fairgram.
Good evening, I'm Matthew Drabick. I'm a project manager with Fairgram. I've been with them just over 11 years now and was with DuPage County Forest Preserve. Before that, Fairgram has been operating in the Midwest for just over 50 years now. The office I work out of is in Aurora, but we have offices throughout the Midwest in Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, Iowa. We've been doing experience with water quality testing, sediment sampling, compliance monitoring, permitting assistance. Most recently with Kane County, Kendall County, and DuPage County, capital assessments of their stormwater retention facilities, stormwater outfalls for their MS4 permitting. I've also worked with private institutions for pollutant discharge elimination system permitting. So a lot of water quality and sediment sampling. We also have experience with landscape design and rehabilitation for wetlands. With the wetland biofilters that are present at the preserve. Yeah, we're just happy to work with Homewood. This is going to be our first time working with the Village of Homewood, though we have worked in the area with dozens of counties throughout Illinois, helping them with permitting assistance and remediation and finding out what's going on in their stormwater systems. And we're happy to have the opportunity of working with you.
What is your timetable?
Timetables, it's going to be 3 rounds of sampling. So it'll probably be December because we want to capture winter flows with the stormwater retention facility as well. So we're doing spring sampling for first flush, or as early as possible for first flush with heavy rains in this month or early next month, and then summer sampling. So hopefully more drought-like conditions. And then winter sampling, which is base flow. So obviously, like when there's not a lot of rain events anticipated, and it's more what you can expect from stormwater discharge systems, especially with runoff from outfalls, from chlorides, from salting roads, and the changes that occur in the winter time. So to account for all 3 sampling events, we decided that we were going to have progress report delivered to you midway through the sampling effort, and sometime in August, after we've got a couple of rounds of water quality sampling done and 1 round of sediment sampling, and then the final report would be delivered at the end of December after all the results, the analytical results from the laboratory. So some contractors are backed and we can prepare a finalized report for you guys with recommendations and analysis as far as permitting goes and as far as the overall environmental health and quality of the Prairie Lakes detention facility.
Thank you very much, Matt.
Mayor, I also wanted to thank John Brinkman and Kevin Jennings who showed up today. They're our partners in this. They've been with us from the beginning, so appreciate you guys coming out.
Any comments or questions from anyone in the audience with regard to any of these matters on the consent agenda? If not, board comments, Trustee Harris Jones,
Nothing for me.
Trustee Willis.
Just glad to see movement on water quality testing. It's great. I'm glad we're moving forward with that.
Trustee Hyman. Trustee Simpson. Trustee Mason.
No.
Trustee Roman.
There's a lot of stuff that we threw on Nikina on our first day. I don't have anything. Good job.
May I have a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda, please?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Trustee Opitz, seconded by Trustee Harris Jones. Roll call, please.
Trustee Harris Jones. Trustee Willis.
Aye.
Trustee Hyperman.
Aye.
Trustee Seaman.
Aye.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Roman. Aye.
The consent agenda is approved. General board discussion. Trustee Harris Jones.
I would like to acknowledge the Homewood Baseball Parade, which was held on Saturday, April 26th at 11. A huge thank you to Marla Youngblood, our events manager. She's not here tonight, but the police, fire, and public works and community partners for making this a parade a great event. The enthusiasm and excitement was felt all over. It was fantastic. I
Trustee
just want to
Willis.
acknowledge that. I want to thank Marilyn for keeping that oath that you spoke of, and all your service to the village. It's so appreciated. We'll miss you, but hope to still see you around.
Trustee Hyperman.
I too would like to thank you for your years of service. It's been a pleasure to serve with you and I wish you the best. I also wish Trustee Opid the best. I think it was very nice, her comments, and I'm sure we will see her around. Also would like to congratulate everybody else tonight that's been sworn in. This is it's going to be a great board, and I'm looking forward to years of progress.
Trustee Simpson.
I want to congratulate Marilyn as well. Thank you for all your service. I did 26 years serving the community through the police department prior to retiring, and I'm looking forward to working with a furthering my service with a professional team and continuing to help the community grow.
Trustee Mason.
Marilyn, I want to just thank you for your attention to detail and your professionalism. I early on, especially, I tried my best to just look through the minutes to find something. They were always spot on. And so I appreciate your attention to detail, your professionalism, and your service to this village. So thank you so much. Want to welcome Patrick to the board. Thankful to have him, and also want to wish Alyssa all the best. The fact that she still will be around with the business association and she lives in the area, we'll still get a chance to work with her. So it's not goodbye. It's just we'll see you a little later. Lastly, I'd like to address Mr. Landry and let him know that it's not just any horse, sir. It is a Bronco.
Tell him the school, Phil.
It's Kenwood Bronco, sir.
Trustee Roman.
I just echo everything that has already been said. Marilyn, thank you for everything. And I know I will see you around the community through, all of the different things that you're involved with. And thank you to Trustee Opid for everything. It was fun having her up here on the board and in a new role outside of the events. And welcome to Patrick and welcome to Nikina. These are the board meetings that I like, the warm and fuzzy board meetings. So thank you to everybody for coming and for your comments. And we're going to do great things over the next couple of years. So thank you for your trust in us.
Again, Marilyn, thank you very much. I don't know, Nikina, are you a White Sox fan?
I am.
Okay, then it's all right. Usually I just have to commiserate with Marilyn about it. We'll suffer through the year together, believe me. Again, congratulations to all the trustees. I'm looking forward to working with you all. We have good things ahead of us and we'll get them done. With that, may I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
Been moved by trustee Roman, seconded by trustee Mason. Roll call, please.
Trustee Harris Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Willis.
Aye.
Trustee Heisterman.
Aye.
Trustee Sweetman.
Aye.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
And trustee Roman.
We stand adjourned. Thank you all.